29 and I find myself wondering what did happen to the last 10. I ran away with my life, fast forward, never turn back again. It's kind of funny that the more we pass time, the more we need to set them rewind. And 19 was the year I had to leave you, but now I'm seeing all the signs. Is this really happening? I can't believe it's true. I'm just as surprised as you. Is this really happening? I can't be too sure, but one day I'll be yours again. Life lessons come one in a dozen. The other 11 get something from nothing. I sit here looking for an answer. Maybe the biggest question was in the last chapter. You gave me the soul I have today. Without you I never could have moved away. But now I see what you teach. I do believe I always should have stayed. Yeah. Is this really happening? I can't believe it's true. I'm just as surprised as you. Is this really happening? I can't be too sure, but one day I'll be yours again. One day I'll be yours. One day I'll be yours.
Hey guys, how are we today? I'm so glad to see you all, Aaron and Debbie and Nature Rocks. How are you guys? I'm so glad you're here. I um I was gonna make another background, because it's fall time, but I couldn't find one as much as I liked last time, so I figured we would use this one again. Nothing wrong with that, right? I Okay, Van, no problem at all. At all. You guys, I the beginning of my last few shows, I have been showcasing a missing person, right? And today I had everything ready to go for little Liam King. I made a community post about him early this morning. I think it was about 5 a.m. when I heard about him and had him on my mind. And he it was, I have to say, was now, he was autistic and nonverbal, and Sunday he was visiting family in Asheboro, North Carolina, and they said that he was only unattended for a few minutes and they couldn't find him. And so they'd been searching for him for 48 hours, and they unfortunately did find his little body about 10 a.m. this morning, and they found him in a body of water not far from where he went missing. And I don't know, you guys, it's too it happens too often. One time is too many, but it's just happening so much these days with the autistic youngins in the water, and it's so upsetting. So please help me remember his family in your prayers. And last week I showcased Dacara that we're here for today about, and unfortunately her ending isn't what we wanted either. And but you know what, we're still gonna keep doing what we do. And if our little oh, okay, Debbie, I hope you have a nice time. Yeah. um but we're still going to keep doing what we do and using our little platform for good. And like I always say, we don't know what kind of ripple that we can create. The one person who sees our coverage, I hate that word coverage because we're not really I'm not an investigative reporter or anything, but you never know who's going to see what we speak on or what you guys share. I always say share the information, even if you don't share my channel, right? And we never know what good we could do. So we're going to keep doing what we do. Hey, Music City Mom, good to see you. So good to see you. It's good to see all you guys. Um, so a lot has happened since last week, and I told you that guys that Dacara had been missing for almost 2 weeks at that time. So I have found out a little more about her since then. So first, like I always do, I want to share with you guys a little bit more about her that I have learned. Let me make it bigger. Okay, so I know that she played basketball and she does this little interview. I guess it's with her high school, and it's like 60 minutes, 60 seconds with the basketball player. So I thought I would show you guys that right quick. It's really cute. Um, Let me see here.
Alright, where's your birthday? August 8th. Alright, what's your favorite color?
60 seconds with the car.
Alright, what's your hometown? Where you from?
Maryland.
Alright, where's your birthday?
August 8th.
Alright, what's your favorite color?
Pink.
Okay, what's your dream occupation?
Real estate.
Ooh, I like that. Okay, what's your biggest pet peeve?
Mean people.
I don't like mean people either. What's your
Mean
favorite artist?
So that was kind of hard to hear, but she says that she's from Maryland and that her favorite color is pink and her dream occupation is real estate. And her biggest pet peeve is mean people, which is that hits home with a lot of us, huh? And she also says that her birthday is August 8th. And that's really sad because she had just turned 19. She hadn't been 19 for 2 weeks, maybe. Um, so I didn't know her birthday until I watched that little video. And I also found on her mama's Instagram page, she made some cute little videos of her that I thought that we could watch. And there's one thing that I'm not going to show you guys, and that is her TikTok. And because I'm not going to show that, because it's her dancing in her bedroom and in her bathroom, just like young kids dancing. She's not out. Hey, Miss Elma, how are you? Good to see you. Um, so she's just dancing in her bedroom and in her bathroom. She's not out at the clubs and stuff like that, just like young kids do. But I have seen people talking so bad about her TikTok and insinuating really bad stuff about her, and I don't like that at all. You guys know that even if I'll just tell you guys what people are saying. People are trying to insinuate that she was a sex worker and things like that. And you guys know that even if she was, it would absolutely not matter to me whatsoever. And I have proven that it would not matter to me. I did a live stream about a cold case about Wilma June Nissen, and she was murdered in the 70s, and she was definitely a sex worker, and I covered her case just as much as I would cover anybody else's, if not more. But in this instance, she is a 19-year-old girl, and there is absolutely no evidence of that. So I would rather be wrong in this instance than be right. So I just wanted to put that out there because if you guys look into it, that's what a lot of people are saying, and I just don't like that. So I'm not going to be showing that. Hey, Tony, how are you? Happy Tuesday. Tony, sometimes I forget what day of the week it is until you come in and tell me. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate all you guys coming in. Um, so, and I found these photos of her absolutely beautiful. She was the youngest of five, and absolutely stunning. And that's her and her mama. And that's her and her dad Daniel, and she was really close to both of her parents. Let me show you guys those videos that I found on her mama's Instagram. It is a when she was this is her let me see here, I think I can make it bigger. This is when she was getting ready for the prom in 2024, and you guys, oh, I gotta share it, sorry. um and when I saw, I had to figure it up in my head because I thought, okay, if she just turned 19 on August the 8th, then she would have been born in 2006. She was younger than my niece, even, just starting out her life, you guys. And I don't like people saying bad stuff about her because there's no evidence and none of us knows, you know. And her mama said something yesterday. The monster was at court, and her mama spoke out afterwards, and she said, "Don't believe what you read and hear, and remember the families, and to respect the families." And I couldn't agree more with that. Hey, 71, how are you? Good to see you. Um, so this is her at her prom in 2024. And there's one more that I want to show you guys. It is a little video for her 17th birthday that her mama made for her. And I don't want to play the music because I don't know if it will, if they'll make me edit it afterwards. So I feel you, Tony. And see here, she's playing basketball too. Her mama absolutely loved her. You can tell that. You can absolutely tell that. And then she's saying, "Happy 17th birthday to my princess." And I know that one of her siblings, I think her second, she's playing basketball again. She was really good at basketball. Um, I know that her second to oldest sibling was 31, I believe. So there's quite a few years difference. And I feel really sorry for all of her siblings too. Absolutely. So I just wanted to show you guys. You guys know that I like to, when we speak about victims, I like to speak about who they were in life too. You know, that matters a whole lot to me too. Um, and her parents were separated, divorced, I think. Well, I know that they didn't live together. And she had been staying with her dad most recently because, and I thought this picture was really good. She was wanting to go into the service. I think it was the Air Force that she wanted to go into. But she had been staying with her dad because she was doing this thing, and I looked more into it. When I first heard about it, I didn't know what it was, but Maryland does this thing called a service year option. And it's something that the kids can do. It's civil service, and they earn $15 an hour, and they get a mentor, and they learn job skills, and they get $6,000 bonus when they complete that first year. And her mama said that she had just completed her first year, and I found this little video that I wanted to show you guys that tells exactly what that service year option was. And I think this know more about what type of person Dacara was too, because this is what interested her. This is what she chose to do with her life. This is a big move for somebody just out of high school to already know that this is what they wanted to do. So it's just about a minute, and I wanted to show this to you guys.
Today, our state smiles because you have just shown us what right looks like. You have just shown us what healing looks like. You have just shown us what leadership looks like. You have just shown us what sacrifice looks like. You have shown us what service looks like, and we are all better because you showed up every single day to do the work.
I applied to Maryland Corps because I was ready for a career pivot and I wanted to get back into public service. I'm excited about that, and service year allowed me to have this option.
I'm most proud of my development. I feel like I've learned and I've gained in many ways. I've learned to work with children, work with teams, work within myself.
I think that Maryland might have been the first state to do something like this, and I think this is a really, really good opportunity. I wish that more states would do this actually. And this is what interested her. She worked for Nonprofit Maryland, I think was the name of it. And they put out a statement too that I'll read to you guys after this.
And the learning has been almost nonstop.
Having that opportunity to make that impact on my community, that is something that will stick with me forever.
I'm really, really glad that I did the program. It was really sort of being able to build a future for myself, right? Through service, no matter what direction I decide to go with, these tools will carry me through the rest of my life.
This is such a big deal because you didn't have to do this. Your stories are why service matters. And because of you, Maryland was the first state to now have a service year option, but because of your hard work and your accomplishments, I can guarantee you we will not be the last.
So I had no idea what that service option was that they were talking about that she was a part of. So I wanted to look that up for you guys too. Let me read to you what the nonprofit said that she worked for. You see, it's down here. Nonprofit Prince George's County. Let me see here. Nonprofit Prince George's County statement on the death of Dacara Rose Thompson. It is with a heavy and deeply saddened heart that we announce the tragic passing of Dacara Rose Thompson. Ms. Thompson dedicated her time as a Maryland Service Corps member to our organization, nonprofit Prince George's County, and was only 19 years old at the time that her life ended. Dacara served as a valued member of our team and supported our efforts to build healthier and safer communities. She carried a quiet presence, but her bright light touched all who had the opportunity to work with her. Through her role, she connected with our nonprofit community daily, and her impact will not be forgotten. We are devastated, hurt, saddened, and angry by this tragic and senseless loss. Our hearts and prayers are with Dakara's family and loved ones during this unimaginable time. For nearly 25 years, our organization has been dedicated to serving the community and 250 plus health and human services nonprofit members across Prince George's County. We remain committed to continuing our work now more than ever. We will maintain our collaboration with local, state, and federal leaders to ensure this vital work continues and that we can provide a space of support to our community during this challenging period. We will carry her light with us, and we commit to holding her legacy close. And that is from the executive director of the nonprofit that she worked with during her service year option. So now this is when we get to the bad part, when she went missing. So remember I told you guys that she was living with her dad, right? It was about 10 p.m. on August the 22nd. Nature Rock says, I wonder if this is where she met the guy or if the guy seen her there. That is a very good question. They haven't said yet. If they know, they haven't said. So I'm not sure, but I didn't even think about that. Um, it's all right, Aaron. We don't care to share. We're cool. uh, um, so she was living with her dad, and on August the 22nd, she told her dad that she was going out to get gas, and he tried to call her about 11 p.m. that night, and she didn't answer. But so around 11:50, he decided to text her, and he said that he was going to bed and he loved her, and she texted him back and said, "I'm getting gas." Well, let me see exactly what she said because I don't want to misquote. She said, "I got gas and I'm out. I should be back soon. I love you too. Good night." So the next morning, when he woke up around 10 a.m., her car wasn't there still, and he got concerned. So he started calling her mama. And remember, I told you guys that she was the youngest of five? Well, they all shared their location on the Find My app, right? So they tracked her car, and it was about 8 miles away from her house, and it was parked going the wrong way, and it was in front of a fire hydrant. And her dad went there, and as soon as he saw her car abandoned, he called the police. Inside was her purse that still had $60 in it, all of her belongings, and the only things that she had taken with her was her key fob and her phone. And her phone was disabled about 5 a.m. that morning, and I'll tell you guys why here in just a little bit. And so the police told him that he should take the car because because it would probably get towed if he didn't. And I mentioned last time that we all know that cars hold a lot of evidence, and that kind of concerned me at the time, but now I don't think that it disturbed any of the evidence. So her dad, I'll just tell you guys, so they reported her missing the next day. Her mama said that she went out and camped out at the area for 48 hours straight, waiting to see if Dacara or somebody else came back for the car, and nobody ever did, of course. So they reported her missing the next day, and her parents were on it, buddy. They were on it ASAP. They did a lot of work, and in the press conference that we're going to watch here in a few minutes, the chief actually says her parents were on it. They they didn't classify her as endangered missing because she was 19 years old, and in my opinion, I don't think I think they could have done more, and the chief will tell you that her parents did a lot of the work. They went door to door, passing out flyers and stuff. And in one instance, her dad obtained a surveillance video, and it showed the car walking away from her vehicle about 1:30 a.m. So what she did at 11:50 until 1:30, I don't know. Maybe the police know, but I don't know, of course. And we come to find out that around 3 a.m. is when she meets with the man that ultimately ends up taking her life. But the next thing that we learn is that there is a body found, and the body. That's the next thing that. Well, the first time that I see anything from the cops, her parents and the news media are spreading all the information that I see. Her parents are holding vigils, and they're on the news a lot. The first thing that I see was from about a week after she was reported missing. And so then we learn that a body is found, and I'm not sure how far away from her car that this was, but this is about 7 miles from the scene where they believe the murder occurred. And the police get a call for a disabled vehicle on this bridge. And they say that the vehicle, they don't believe it has anything to do with the murder. But while they're investigating this disabled vehicle on the bridge, they look over and they see Dacara. I believe it's about 30 feet below. I'm not for sure which side, but it's about 30 feet below. And it's a bad trigger warning, you guys. They say that she was nude and had facial and skull fractures. And I think that she, from what I can figure out, it seems like she was probably on the bank, which was good because if she would have landed in the water, it's untelling when she would have been found, you know? So the Maryland State Police make a statement and they do this little press conference. This is the first one that I see, and I'll play that for you guys now. And here they're just talking about the body that was found. And I always drop the links to the videos that I'm playing in the chat so you guys can refer back to it if you ever need. 71 says she met up at 3 a.m. with this dude at a random location. Yep, she sure did.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Brian Fisher, manager of the Media Relations Division for the Prince George's County Police Department. I'd like to thank everybody for being here. Today, I'm joined by our county executive, Aisha Braveboy, DCAO of Public Safety and Homeland Security, Mel Powell, Police Chief George Nader, Assistant Police Chief George Nichols, and our leadership team. We are here to discuss the ongoing missing person case of Dacara Thompson. I'd first like to introduce our police chief, George Nader.
Good afternoon. Anytime someone goes missing in our community, we take it seriously. Our detectives work diligently with the family to try to locate that individual. As you're aware, in this case, Dacara was last seen on August 22nd. She was reported missing on August 23rd. Her vehicle was located in the area of Riggs Road in Hyattsville on August 24th. At that time, we continued to do video work in the area. We worked with the...
He got those two dates backwards, which it's not a big deal, but they found her car on the 23rd, and she was reported missing the next day, I believe, the 24th.
Family to try to work through cell phone information to attempt to locate her. Further investigation and video was conducted. We really searched hard for Dacara. We looked for additional information we could get through cell phone subpoenas. We were waiting on that. On August the 31st, we were notified that Maryland State Police located a body. That body was located just off of Route 50 in Anne Arundel County. The characteristics were similar. We have not yet confirmed that this is the missing. I want to make that very clear. At this point, there has not been a confirmation, but the characteristics are similar, so we're exploring that. We're working hand in hand with the Maryland State Police Department. They're going to be handling the death investigation. We are still working our missing person case. We are asking that anyone with information about this case contact the Prince George's County Police Department at 1-866.
So they did this and they put out a statement on September the 3rd. And by the paperwork that I see, September the 3rd is when her parents, they identified her, and I believe it was through photos, I believe, you guys, or I hope they didn't have to see the photos. I hope that it was just descriptions of her tattoos and things. But I guess they mean that she wasn't formally identified on this day, but her parents did identify that this was unfortunately her on this day.
411 tips. This investigation is ongoing for us. And out of respect for the family, we are going to ask that we give them some privacy as we process and attempt to confirm whether or not this is our person. And at this point, I'll turn it over to the county executive.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Chief, and the entire Prince George's County Police Department, as well as MSP, who are our partners. Um, Anytime someone goes missing, it is sad. It's tragic because for a family, you don't know where your loved one is. And so we take that very seriously here. And I know that we have been in touch with the family. They are aware. I think it's so important to keep families involved, keep them up to date with information as you process or investigate something involving their loved one so that they know.
This is the county executive, I believe. Her name is Miss Brave Boy, and I really, really like her. At the next press conference that we're going to watch after she was identified and there was an arrest, she gets, you could tell that this really, really upset her, and I appreciate her so much. She was also at some of the vigils before when they were still looking for her. So she's been invested this whole time.
That we're doing everything we can to find their loved one. 19 years old. Dacara is 19 years old. And so even though technically she's an adult, she's someone's child, someone's baby. And so our heart goes out to her entire family, and we will again continue to work diligently to bring some resolution and information to her family as well as to the public. Thank you.
And we do not have more information than that to share with you, so we appreciate everybody coming out. As far as if you had questions, and I know you probably do, but further than what we've told you, we don't have any other responses. So look for a response to go out from us, and I believe Maryland State Police will issue a immediate response shortly. So other than that, we don't have any additional information. So we'd like to thank you all for coming out.
So the media did ask a few questions then, but they didn't answer. They didn't answer anything. And so that was on the 3rd, and then this past Friday is when they come out and say that she was identified positively, that she was the nude body that they found over the bridge, and it was 7 miles from the suspect's house. And I'm going to tell you guys about the monster. 35-year-old Hugo Rene Hernandez-Mendez, and he is an illegal immigrant from Guatemala, and he shared a house with his cousin and some more roommates. I'm not sure exactly how many, and they don't know how long he's been here. ICE did make a statement, but not because of that, but I'm also upset because April the 20th, I believe it was the 20th or the 25th of this past year, he was arrested for a DUI, and the part of the highway where he was arrested, it was by the park police, which are federal agents, the federal government. So it wasn't the state police or St. George's County Police or the sheriffs, it was the federal government. And today, at first, what I've been hearing is that paperwork couldn't be found. And today, I found a video where a news agency got a hold of the paperwork, and they said he was stumbling, and it was really, really bad. But I don't even think they checked his immigration status, and it's hard, you guys, because I don't want to make a general statement. It's hard because not everyone that's crossed into the United States illegally are criminals. But of course, criminals, that's going to be the only way that they cross, right? So, because that's the only way they can come across, they wouldn't be able to come legally. And so it's just hard because I don't want to say that one group of people is bad, you know. I think I kind of feel like the district attorney says. She says she's not concerned with his immigration status. He's a criminal just like any other criminals, and so that's how I feel. But legal immigrants, even they get upset sometimes. You know, they say, "Well, I had to go through this, and this, and I'm here legally." And I'm also upset, you guys, because a refugee from a legal refugee here was killed, stabbed horribly. Um, Nature Rock says one of my family members' in laws was caught with a DUI and he was deported within a week. Wow. Yeah, so that's why I don't understand. And also on one of the papers that I seen, let me show you guys that right fast. One of the papers that I seen, and I got this from Mike Hellegren on X, and he is a reporter too. Right here, so it says he's a landscaper and made $2,400, and he pays $700 for rent. But down here it says registered lifetime sex offender, and it has a Y for yes. So I don't know if it means that that was checked. Driver record search. See, it says here that yes, it was checked. So I don't know if it means all of these were checked or he is one, you know, but it says he didn't have a criminal history. So so I don't know how that could be, but I just wanted to point this out. And then also up here it says number of dependents rely on income. It says 2. So that concerned me too, because does he have children here or a wife here? You know? So it's just hard, you guys. And I appreciate you all. Hey, Trista, good to see you. Um, so it's hard, you guys, but I appreciate how we can come together because I know you guys feel a lot, you know, the same way I do. So I'm glad that we can come together and speak about these things, you know. And when we read the paperwork, it will make you sick and even more angry. So, well, let me read to you guys right fast what ICE, they made a statement too, and they're kind of passing the buck. Like I say sometimes, yeah, this is Irina Zarutska. She was 23 years old, and she was a refugee, um, and she was killed by an American. You know, so I was really upset about that too because she came here legally, and I don't know, you guys. It's just a lot. Um and I just feel like she came on our territory, and then for that to happen to her here, that makes me really angry too. So it's not that let me see here. I wanted to find for you guys the ICE statement. Oh, I think it's right here. I wanted to read directly what they said. Uh, right here, an ICE spokesperson said, so they made this statement Friday on the same day that they announced she was, that it for sure was her, and that they had made the arrest. And it says in a statement Friday afternoon, ICE accused the Prince George's County Department of Corrections of being historically uncooperative. An ICE spokesperson said Hugo Rene Hernandez-Mendez is a criminal, and they use this term, you guys, and I don't believe in this, but I wanted to show you guys exactly how they wrote it, but they said is a criminal alien from Guatemala charged with first-degree murder in Prince George's County, Maryland. On September 4th, ICE Baltimore lodged an immigration detainer. So on the same day that he was arrested, an immigration detainer against Hernandez with the Prince George's County Department of Corrections, who is historically uncooperative. During an interview with Hernandez, ICE officers determined that he illegally entered the United States on an unknown date and location and without inspection or admission by a U.S. immigration official. Local officials like Prince George's County endanger the safety of its residents by refusing to honor ICE detainers. Well, they're trying to say that Prince George's County don't honor ICE detainers, but he didn't even have one from before he had the DUI or after. So again, it's like they're trying to pass the buck. But it says, in releasing criminal illegal aliens back into the community to reoffend, we can only hope that's not the case with Hernandez-Mendez. ICE Baltimore will continue to monitor this situation and ensure criminal illegal, and they use this term again, are kept off the streets of Maryland. Under the leadership of President Trump and Secretary Noem, ICE will relentlessly prioritize public safety by arresting and removing criminal alien offenders from American communities. So that is what ICE had to say about it. I hear that, Alma. Absolutely. I would never expect you to. Thank you. So I just wanted to read to you guys that's what ICE had to say about it. So now they did a press conference when they announced the arrest. Let me see here. Here we go. So I figured we could watch that, and there is one more after his bond hearing yesterday. And her mama speaks. So we'll listen to this and then we'll listen to that one too.
The Superintendent of the Maryland State Police, Colonel Roland L. Butler, Jr., the Chief of the Bowie Police Department, Dwayne A. Preston, and the State's Attorney for Prince George's County, Tara Jackson. I would also like to recognize Prince George's County DCAO Mel Powell. Because this investigation remains very active, we'll take a few questions at the end of the presentation, but we'll be very limited in what we can answer. At this time, I'd like to introduce Prince George's County Police Chief George Nader.
Good morning. First, I'd like to thank members of the media for showing sensitivity during the reporting of this case. We know there were questions that you had and questions that we couldn't answer due to the investigation being ongoing. On September 5th, detectives from the Prince George's County Police Department's Homicide Division developed probable cause to present charges for the murder of Dacara Thompson. This morning, criminal charges were issued for first-degree and second-degree murder. The facts of the case: 19-year-old Dacara Thompson was last seen on August the 22nd. She was reported missing the very next day. On August the 21st, her family located the vehicle in the area of Jasmine Terrace in Hyattsville, Maryland. On August 31st, what we believe to have been Dakara's body was located by the Maryland State Police Department in the area of eastbound Route 50 at Route 97. On August 23rd, in the area of University Boulevard in Hyattsville, Maryland, a short distance from her vehicle at approximately 3 a.m. For reasons still under investigation, it appears that Dacara willfully entered a vehicle being driven by Hugo Hernandez-Mendez, 35-year-old male out of Bowie, Maryland.
I'll read you guys the court papers after this. And, we saw the surveillance video of her walking away from her car last time, and that was at 1:30. And they say that she got into his car right around 3. And people are making assumptions that it was drug related or sex work related, and I just don't think that, and there's no evidence to that, and I want to keep saying that because I don't think it's right to put that on this 19-year-old girl because of her TikTok videos. All young, well, not all, but most young girls do those TikTok dances and stuff like that. Just because of that, no, I don't think so, and I don't appreciate it, and I don't like it.
Through investigative techniques and video review, detectives were able to track the vehicle's movement to an address on Kimber Ridge Drive in Bowie, Maryland. On September 4th, several search warrants were obtained and executed pertaining to this case, which led detectives to obtain enough probable cause to take Hugo Hernandez-Mendez into custody and present him to the court commissioner for the murder of Dacara Thompson. We believe the murder occurred in the home on Cambridge Drive in Hernandez's bedroom. Her body was taken to the location that it was recovered at by Hernandez. At this time, there are no additional suspects. However, this investigation is ongoing. Our thoughts and prayers are with her family during this time. Detectives from the Prince George's County Police Department's Missing Persons Unit were quickly joined by the Prince George's County Police Department Homicide Unit, along with our law enforcement partners from Maryland State Police and the City of Bowie, who worked jointly and tirelessly to determine the facts of this case. Because the pre-existing relationships between our agencies, we are where we are. There's still a lot of investigative work to be done in this case, and we're asking members of the community or anyone that may have information about this case to contact us at 1-866-411-TIPS. Throughout this case, members at the highest level of our law enforcement agencies were kept abreast of every development, and cooperative decisions were made jointly. I have no words to express my appreciation for the Superintendent of the Maryland State Police, Colonel Butler, and Bowie's City Police Chief, Dwayne Preston, for their involvement. In addition to law enforcement involvement in this case, the highest level of our governments were kept abreast of this matter. This included daily briefings with Deputy Chief Administrative Officer Melvin Powell and County Executive Aisha Braveboy, both of whom provided unwavering support for our teams who were conducting this investigation. Incidents like this affect our entire community. Ms. Braveboy's involvement in this case, for me, further reflects her passion for people and the community that we serve. On behalf of our department, I want to personally thank you for your support in this tough case. It meant a lot to me personally, and I appreciate it. At this point, I'll turn it over to County Executive Aisha Braveboy.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Chief, and thank you to all of our public safety partners who are here with us today. But more importantly, I want to thank this community. When you found out that Dacara Thompson was missing, you answered the calls of her parents and her family to help find her, to locate her, because she means so much to so many. And so it is tough that we're at this point where the search is over and justice begins. I want to thank our superintendent I want to thank also Chief Preston, the men and women of the Prince George's County Police Department and its homicide unit, as I have repeated numerous times as state's attorney, the best of the best. I want to thank you for closing this case quickly. And now we will hand this case over to our state's attorney, Tara Jackson, to seek justice. But I did want to reflect on Dacara Thompson, young 19-year-old graduate of St. Charles High School in Charles County. She was living with her father, and part of the reason she lived here is because she was working for nonprofit Prince George's.
That's the video. She's talking about the program that I told you guys about at the beginning and showed you that little video. That is what she's talking about, where why she was living with her father and things like that. And she's about to say she was a good girl. And I just implore everybody to remember that when they're throwing out theories, baseless theories too.
As part of her service year option that she decided to participate in, and that this activity is sponsored by our Governor Wes Moore. So this is a young woman who dedicated part of her young life to serving others, And I want that to ring home to all of you that this is a good young woman who wanted to do good for her community. And now her community will stand behind her family as we seek justice for her. I will now turn the mic over to our Superintendent Butler.
Good morning. On behalf of Governor Wes Moore and the entire Maryland Department of State Police family, I'd like to extend my deepest condolences to the family and friends of Ms. Dacara Thompson, a young life that was taken far too soon. Shortly before 5 p.m. on August 31st, troopers from the Maryland State Police Annapolis Barrack were dispatched to the area of U.S. Route 50 between Maryland Route 424 and Interstate 97 in Anne Arundel County for the report of a disabled vehicle. Upon arrival, troopers observed a female lying unresponsive in a grassy area off the highway. Information obtained indicated that the disabled vehicle was unrelated to the investigation that we have embarked upon. Investigators from the Maryland State Police Criminal Enforcement Division South Region responded to the scene along with State Police crime scene technicians from our Forensic Services Division. They processed the scene. Shortly after, they contacted the Prince George's County Police. The Maryland State Police and the Prince George's County Police have been conducting a joint investigation into the death of Ms. Dacara Jackson. As additional information becomes available, I am sure the Prince George's County and the Maryland State Police will share that information with you. The circumstances surrounding her death still remain under investigation, so we will continue to answer those questions that we think the community and the family want those answers. Thank you. I'd like to introduce Chief Dwayne Preston from the City of Bowie.
Good morning. On behalf of our City Manager, Alfred D. Lott, I want to express my condolences to the family of Dacara Thompson. Members of the Bowie Police Department have worked in great collaboration with Prince George's County Police Department and the Maryland State Police. And unfortunately, the evidence led to this incident culminating in the City of Bowie. We continue to work in partnership with our strong partnerships with our law enforcement agencies, and it's our prayer that as this case matriculates through the criminal justice system, that justice will be served for the family. Thank you.
Good morning. I too would like to first express my condolences to the family of Dacara Thompson. I cannot imagine the pain that the family is feeling right now. And I agree with the county executive when she says that the community is grieving with the family. I also want to thank the county executive and her leadership team, Chief Nader, Chief Preston, our Maryland State Police partners. We are indeed a team in bringing justice and protecting our community. I know that the public has been following this case closely, and oftentimes our community does not understand the legal process and roles of each member of our legal team, of our law enforcement team. So as State's Attorney for Prince George's, I'm here this morning to explain the legal process and next steps. The police have charged Mr. Hernandez-Mendez, as you've heard, with murder and related charges. He has appeared before a commissioner, a judicial officer, and that commissioner has determined that there is probable cause to support the charges, and he was held without bond. Mr. Hernandez.
He had a bond hearing yesterday, and his lawyer they just didn't even try to get bond. They just waived that right, and his next court hearing is October the 8th, I believe, but I'll definitely keep up with it for us.
Hernandez-Mendez will now appear at a bond hearing. We're not sure whether that bond hearing will be today or on Monday. And during that hearing, the court will determine whether or not he should remain held. In making that decision, the court will look at the nature of the charges that are lodged against him, as well as the safety of the community. As I said, this bond hearing may occur on Monday and not today. At this point, there really is not much more that I can offer other than to say in the weeks to come, my office will do a thorough review of the evidence, and we will determine whether or not Mr. Hernandez-Mendez should be indicted, and if so, what he should be indicted for. It is important to remind our residents, and I want to do this always, that any person who is charged with the crime in Prince George.
He was ultimately charged with first and second degree murder.
Is entitled to due process through our judicial system, and it's my job as the state's attorney to ensure that justice occurs, but that the processes are transparent and fair and in full accordance with the law. And finally, I just want to add that my office remains steadfast in working with our partners daily to make sure that our community is safe. Thank you.
So the deepest gratitude for the men and women of the Prince George's County Police Department that worked this case literally around the clock since she was reported missing. I deeply appreciate their efforts, and I appreciate the journalism that has covered this case to this point. Now we'll open it up for a few questions. Yeah.
Chief, I want to ask you your thoughts on what you think happened here to Hernandez, and then separately, is there any indication that she was alive in the home, or that this was a happened?
We don't believe she was moving around the home. We believe everything transpired in the bedroom. So what is surrounding the two coming together, that's what we're still investigating. Nothing, not that we're aware of, but we are aware of one prior arrest that occurred with the United States Park Police in April.
If it wasn't for that disabled car, would that area have been searched? Was that on where we are?
That area is probably about 7 miles away from the murder location, but a good distance away from where she went missing. So we are thankful that the Maryland State Police had the.
That's what I was telling you guys. I really don't think that she would have been found, or for a very long time at least, if that disabled car hadn't have been disabled right on that bridge. That was like, I don't know, was crazy.
The ability to locate that body based on that call for service.
Chief, was this suspect subject to an ICE detainer from that spring arrest?
He was not at that. He was not subject to an ICE detainer based on that spring arrest.
Any other?
We believe that one was issued yesterday.
County Executive, whoever wants to handle this, that's going to be an aspect of this case given our time today.
Yes.
What are your thoughts about that?
So, as was indicated, he was arrested by U.S. Park Police, which falls under the auspices of the federal government. So the federal government arrested him in April of this year on a DUI charge. He was then released pending his trial. I don't believe his trial date has come up yet. So what we know is that he did not, according to our records, have any contact at the state level, but he was arrested by federal authorities in April.
I imagine that there's going to be some reaction to this man's arrest now in the news nationally. What are your thoughts about that? Is his status relevant at all in this case? What are your thoughts?
Well, I think that the U.S. Government has made
The news anchor, I don't know if you heard him, but he said, is his status, let me see exactly what he said.
This man's arrest now in the news nationally. What are your thoughts about that? Is his status relevant at all in this case? What are your thoughts?
Well,
He asked us if his status is relevant at all to this case.
I think that the U.S. Government has made status of individuals relevant. This was someone who was in their custody, and they made the decision to release him. So I think the questions should be asked of the Justice Department. Thank you.
And that statement that I read to you guys from ICE, they basically said that the local government is uncooperative when they do issue detainers. So it sounded like to me that they didn't even want to issue detainers because they wouldn't be honored anyway, which is a huge mess, and it's not good. It leads to things like this, in my opinion. And I try to be unbiased, you guys, when I talk to you guys about these things, but it keeps jumping in my mind like little Jocelyn Nungary. Her perpetrators had been caught, and one of them even had an ankle monitor on. And so, and they were still able to do what they did, or Rachel Moore and things like that. And so it's really, really hard for me to be unbiased about these things when I think about that. But then I also know that not all illegal immigrants are bad. Absolutely not. And I just hate to make a huge characterization of a whole group because basically a few bad apples can spoil the bunch. And it just makes me sad.
Correct. Yes, ma'am.
So when Dacara was reported missing, I know that I talked to Brian about this. There wasn't like a flyer or anything put out on social media to get her face out, right? Can you talk just about that, like the fact that that wasn't put out right away and the case ended this way? Like what was done in the first few hours or maybe something?
So the facts as we have it is she was in that vehicle before she was ever reported missing. So we did canvass the area. We searched. We questioned people in the area. We looked for video. We did all of these things.
Okay, I'm going to slow this down because this was a very good question that the reporter asked.
Right? Can you talk just about that, like the fact that people now have to face these charges here though, correct?
Correct. Yes, ma'am.
So when Dacara was reported.
Let me turn it up for you guys.
I know that I talked to Brian about this. There wasn't like a flyer or anything put out on social media to get her face out, right?
She's saying, why wasn't there a flyer put out on social media for Dacara?
Can you talk just about that, like the fact that that wasn't put out right away and the case ended this way? Like what was done in the first few hours or maybe some investigation?
So the facts as we have it is she was in that vehicle before she was ever reported missing.
So that makes it okay, like because she was already deceased by the timelines, that it doesn't matter if they put out a flyer or not for her.
So we did canvass the area. We searched. We questioned people in the area. We looked for video. We did all of these things. As a practice, critical missings get distributed. But the family did a lot of hard work and they distributed information.
He said that critical missings get distributed, and she wasn't considered a critical missing, so they didn't distribute it. But now he's saying, well, her family did it, so her information got distributed anyways. This made me mad too.
And you all covered that, so the information was out and the community had it. And the community was sending in tips as well. Sorry. Correct.
And the timeline up from that point to today, you kind of provide detail on how you could possibly identify the
So we met with the family, and through that meeting, we were able to identify the body.
We'll take one more question.
We'll do two. You.
I was going to ask, are any investigators talking with the suspect as he cooperating with his
We did interview the suspect, and we got limited cooperation.
I just asked, I want to ask this respectfully, any trauma to
We're not going to discuss the manner of death at this time, but thank you for your question, and thank you all. We really appreciate you coming up.
So that made me mad that he said that when asked why her information wasn't distributed, he said, well, only critical missings get distributed, but her family distributed it anyways. Well, that wasn't her family's job, you know. What if the victim didn't have family? They weren't lucky enough to have family. It wouldn't have been distributed then, right? Not everybody has a big family. Okay, now it comes the really, really bad part, you guys. I'm going to read to you the papers that I was able to get from Mike Helgren on X, and he also shared with, I believe it was Fox. So I know that these are legit, but big trigger warning. They're very upsetting. So this is Mendez, who will hereafter be referred to as the defendant. At this time, the defendant was detained and transported to the Criminal Investigation Division Homicide Unit for further investigation. The black 2007 GMC Yukon XL Denali, bearing Maryland registration, was impounded by Ryan's Towing and transported to the Prince George's Evidence Unit for further processing. Detectives had the opportunity to interview the defendant. Detectives advised the defendant of his Miranda rights, at which time he freely and voluntarily waived his rights and elected to speak with detectives. The defendant advised detectives that on August 23, 2025, he was at the Galaxy nightclub. Let it be noted that detectives know that the Galaxy nightclub is located at 2301 University Boulevard, Hyattsville, Maryland. This location is directly across the street from where the decedent was observed entering the black 2007 GMC Yukon Denali bearing Maryland registration. Furthermore, the defendant advised detectives that he was in possession of the black GMC Yukon Denali on August 23, 2025, at approximately 200 hours. The defendant advised he was supposed to meet his ex-girlfriend, but he never did. When detectives questioned further into the investigation, the defendant denied any involvement and asked detectives if he could have a lawyer. At that time, the interview ended. So that's basically all he said, that he was there because he was waiting at the nightclub to see his ex-girlfriend. On September 4th, at approximately 9:05 hours, a residential search warrant was conducted at Cambridge Drive. Detectives made contact with multiple other occupants of the residence whose names are known to police. All occupants of the residence were detained and transported to the Criminal Investigation Division Homicide Unit. So they did end up his cousin, she does an interview, not on camera, but she speaks to a reporter, and she said that the next day that ICE came back and detained her husband because he was here illegally too. So I'm not sure what's happened after that. But it said that detectives spoke with witness one, who advised that it, and they say it because they don't want to say he or she, lives at the residence with its family, its cousin, the defendant, and two other roommates. Witness one advised that the Yukon is registered to it, but its cousin, the defendant, is the only one who operates it. Witness one advised that its cousin, the defendant, has a drinking and drug problem. Detectives spoke with witness 2, whom advised that its room is right next to the defendant's room. Witness 2 advised on August 23rd it recalled hearing and this is really, really bad, you guys. Hearing the defendant having sex around 500 hours. Witness 2 advised it could hear a grunting noise, which made it believe that someone wasn't enjoying the sex. So it's untelling what this witness heard, but they knew that much, so why didn't they stop it? So this could have been prevented after the DUI arrest, and this witness, I'm sure that Dacara didn't give in willingly. I'm sure that she fought for her life, and by a few more details that we hear here, you can tell that she fought. So why didn't they help her, you know? And then this part, I can't read what it says, but the witness said that when they woke up at 1200 hours that that his car was gone, and they thought it was weird because he didn't work on Saturday. Detectives spoke with witness 3 and witness 4, and they said neither one of them had recollection of that morning, and they stay on the opposite side of the house from the defendant, so they're not given any information. And this house doesn't look huge. You would think that they would have heard something. A search of the residence was conducted in which multiple items of evidentiary value were recovered. Detectives located a bedroom in the front side of the residence. Detectives observed identifying documentation to include a social security card, identifications card, and work pay stubs belonging to the defendant. Upon visual inspection of the bedroom, multiple areas were observed with what appears to be suspected blood evidence. A phenolphthalein presumptive blood test was conducted on these areas with the suspected blood evidence, which yielded positive results. Suspected blood droplets were also observed on the defendant's mattress located in the bedroom. A white and pink fake French manicure style fingernail was located on the floor of the bedroom. You guys, I do my own nails, and they're Gel X nails, and I put them on with that TikTok famous glue that you can buy at Sally's. And I do them myself, but I would bet that hers were like professionally done, because you know how youngins like to get theirs done professionally. But yesterday, mine stay on for like 2 weeks before I have to use this special remover stuff, and you squirt it under there, and you have to let it sit for 5 to 10 minutes before they come off. And without that, I really don't know how I would get them off. But what I'm saying is, she had to struggle bad for one of her nails to come off. So they found one of her nails in the bedroom. Detectives know that the decedent had white and pink fake French manicure style fingernails when she was found deceased. Detectives also noticed that when the decedent was found, she was missing the white and pink French manicure style fingernail on her left middle finger. Detectives were able to review a photo of the decedent's white and pink fake French manicure style fingernails and were able to identify that the nails in the photo are consistent with the nail recovered from the bedroom floor. Further, detectives recovered multiple pairs of women's underwear and lingerie. During the search, so you guys, multiple pairs. So who else has he done this to? I hope they look deep into this, because I don't see this being a first time for somebody. During the search, detectives observed 2 trash bins in the driveway. So this was September the 3rd or the 4th, and this is almost 10 days after. They opened the trash bins and observed multiple trash bags inside of them. Detectives searched the said trash bags and observed multiple identifying documents of individuals who live in the residence. A further search revealed a white napkin with suspected bloodstains on it. Throughout multiple trash bags, multiple black with the red top hairs were located. Detectives know through review of video surveillance that the decedent appears to be wearing a wig, in which the hair color is consistent with the hairs recovered from within the multiple trash bags shortly before she got into the black 2007 GMC Yukon Denali. All of these items of evidentiary value were recovered by crime scene Investigation Division and will be stored at the Evidence Unit for safekeeping. On September 4, detectives applied for and were granted a vehicle search warrant. At approximately 1830 hours, investigation with the crime scene division executed the vehicle search warrant along with detectives. A Blue Star blood test was conducted. Blue Star is a presumptive test designed to reveal fresh, dried, or cleaned blood, neat or diluted in trace or sizable amounts. This test operates by chemiluminescence. As a result of the test, a positive result was revealed for possible blood evidence on the passenger's driver's seat. In summary, detectives know through multiple surveillance camera video footage. Nature Rock says they better look at other cases, see if he can be tied to them. That's exactly what I'm thinking, too. That's exactly what I'm thinking. Detectives know through multiple surveillance camera video footage and cellular location data that the decedent entered into the black GMC Denali. Detectives know that the defendant is the only person who drives the Denali. It then travels to the area of his house, which coincides with the decedent's cellular device movements. The decedent is in this area on August 23rd from 3:47 hours. So she gets into his car around 3 and she's at his house at 3:47 and her phone deactivates at 5:03. Remember, the one witness who has the room next door to his said around 5 a.m. they hear what sounds to me like a total SA, and then right after that, her phone is deactivated. So I'm thinking he turns it off. They say it right here. On August 23rd, 2025, sexual intercourse is heard coming from the defendant's bedroom, which sounded as if someone was not enjoying it. Well, that's an too easy way to put it. They made it sound nice, and I'm sure it wasn't. The discovery of blood evidence recovered from the defendant's bedroom, along with the hair and the recovered fingernail consistent with what of the missing fingernail, indicates to detectives that a physical altercation ensued within the defendant's bedroom. The discovery of the possible blood evidence recovered from the Blue Star test of the Denali indicates to detectives that the decedent was moved into the black Denali after the physical altercation. Further, the decedent was then located deceased with skull and facial fractures. Based on all of the above information, detectives believe that the defendant murdered the decedent in his bedroom on the morning of August 23rd, 2025. The defendant then drove the decedent's body to eastbound Maryland Route 50 between Maryland Route 424 and Annapolis, Maryland, and threw the decedent's body over the short bridge above the South River in order to conceal the crime and recovery of the decedent's body. So that's what I have been able to get from the paperwork. There is one video from his cousin that I feel we should play, and then what her mama said after the court hearing yesterday.
Was killed inside of a house on Cambridge Drive in Bowie, Maryland.
Rafael Sanchez Cruz has been covering the investigation there. Rafa, you spoke to the accused killer's cousin and learned some insight into how this arrest all played out.
Yeah, Lorenzo, Annie, this is a really layered case. So let me walk you through it. Yesterday, investigators executed a search warrant at this home right behind me. But today, there were
in her car, she parked down the street from the club at 1:30, and they're saying from digital evidence he was parked at that club waiting on his ex-girlfriend, he said, about an hour before she met him. And so they say that she left her car at 1:30, got into his car at 3. He was waiting outside of the club for his ex-girlfriend, he said. So I don't know if they both were in the club prior to that or what, but that's about all that I know. Hey Astro, good to see you. I know, buddy, it's hard. I think that they did detain her husband.
Federal agents back here to arrest a different man. Now, the cousin of Hugo Hernandez-Mendez tells me that they found blood inside her cousin's bedroom, that blood belonging to Dacara Thompson. It's in the side bedroom of this Bowie home where investigators say Dacara Thompson was killed. I never thought a family member would do something like that. We are distraught. The cousin of Hugo Hernandez-Mendez agreed to speak only if her face was not shown. We will call her Maria. She says her cousin, an immigrant from Guatemala, lived with her family and other relatives, but recently she rarely saw him and his behavior changed.
It's very unfortunate that we have to live in a society where predators are always lurking.
Neighbors are still in shock.
I just felt that there was a need for me to come out and extend my condolences to the family.
Oh my goodness, it's connected.
Tracy Franklin says Maryland State Troopers visited her home as part of the investigation.
I am very glad to see that coverage is happening and awareness of a young African-American woman missing, because a lot of times that doesn't happen.
Maria says her husband was also taken by investigators for questioning yesterday, but was released. This morning, she says federal immigration agents were back at their home, this time for her husband, who is an undocumented immigrant from Mexico. They did not have an...
So I do believe that they were the witnesses that were in the court papers they heard, but I'm wondering if they were in the room next to his. But you guys saw how big that house was. I just don't think there was a way that they didn't hear anything. But we have seen it before, so I don't know.
Order for my husband or a warrant for me. They simply handcuffed him and took him. Maria insists her husband has nothing to do with the alleged crime. Her young children standing right next to her. She says her husband was taken despite his full cooperation in the criminal investigation. She has this message for Dakara's parents.
Yo soy madre, entiendo a la madre, entiendo al padre.
I am a mother. I understand her mother and father. I have children. I hope God gives them strength through this difficult situation. I really lament that it was a family member of mine, my cousin. I am really sorry. Yeah, we did reach out to
You guys remember Cavalcante when he escaped from prison? Remember when I believe it was his sister. They think that he went to her house or she helped him somehow, and remember they deported her too. We can't blame this family for what their family members do, because I don't think that's right in any circumstance, but whether they're here legally or not, but I still just can't believe that they didn't hear anything. That's the thing.
To know more details about the arrest of Maria's husband, but we have yet to hear back. Lorenzo, Annie, this community still processing this horrible tragedy. Back to you.
Heartbreaking conclusion, Raphael.
But there is, okay, that now there's the video after he was at court yesterday, and her mama speaks a little bit, and then the lady that we saw at the other press conference, she speaks too. I think she's the district attorney.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. We are here today to discuss
the case of the 19-year-old Dacara Thompson. I'm going to turn this over.
That's a really good point too. Vanessa says that they were probably scared of him and scared of being deported. We have to remember that that it's not like us that we can just, not be scared to go to the police about such things. We have to remember that it's different if you're already breaking the law in the first place, and being here illegally is breaking the law. Um, that's true too, Aaron. Yeah. She says, well, they knew he and was on drugs, so if you can do what a U.S. citizen, simple human should do to help a female out, then that's right too. They didn't have to go to the police at that time when they heard her fighting for her life. They could have stepped in then. You're absolutely right too.
To State's Attorney Tara Jackson. Thank you.
Good afternoon. On Thursday of last week, the Prince George's County Police Department arrested Mr. Hernandez-Mendez and charged him with the murder of 19-year-old Dacara Thompson. He was presented before the commissioner and he was held without bond at that time, pending a bail hearing. Earlier today, Mr. Hernandez-Mendez appeared before a judge for a bond review hearing, and he was again held without bond, and he will continue to be held without bond. I know that the public has been following this case closely, and there are a lot of questions and concerns about the circumstances surrounding Ms. Thompson's death and, frankly, the immigration status of the defendant. I want to emphasize first that this remains an active investigation, and I am therefore extremely limited in any information that I can provide today. But I'll say this: the goal of this office is to achieve justice for Dacara Thompson and for her family. And that goal requires that my office have the ability to fully investigate and to thoroughly review any and all evidence in this case in order to make a determination regarding the appropriate charges for indictment. In addition, this office's primary concern is not the legal status of the defendant, or frankly of any other defendant. My concern is to hold accountable people who commit crimes against the residents of Prince George's County. My job is to hold accountable anyone who commits a crime in Prince George's County against, again, our residents. At this point, there is not much more than I can say other than, as the state's attorney, it is my job to ensure that the process is fair, that it is transparent and in full accordance with the law. And we will remain steadfast in our commitment to achieving justice. Thank you.
Are there any other suspects that you're looking at, any other people possibly involved in this?
Again, this case is under investigation, and so I cannot further comment as to the nature of any other suspects or any part of the investigation. Again, there were charges. The commissioner's office found probable cause. The judge has now held this defendant without bond. But as to the strength of the case, I can't comment on that at this particular point. In terms of what's next, our office again has to thoroughly review not only the charges that were lodged against the defendant, but the evidence that the police have collected in this case and continue to investigate where necessary, along with all of our law enforcement partners. And we'll make a determination in short order as to the appropriateness of any charges and what those charges will be. And then we would present to the grand jury for indictment.
Has there been a cause and manner of death determined at this point? And is there anything holding that up, as far as that process?
At this point, I can't speak to that, but we will. I can't speak to anything else that was not revealed within the statement of charges.
Any other questions?
Would anyone from the family be willing to speak?
Her mama is about to speak, and I want us to pay really close attention to when she talks about, and I'm going to clip this out later so that I can put it separately, about not to believe everything you see and hear. And that's what I was talking about Dakar's TikTok. Everybody's making a big deal out of that. But we don't know if they had prior connections to each other, or if they met in the club, or what. It doesn't have to be what people think. And also, this is a really, really bad area for trafficking. We don't know if it was something like that either.
What's your name, please?
Carmen Thompson.
Carmen Thompson?
Yes.
And you are a?
I'm the mother of Dacara Thompson.
What were your thoughts in being at the hearing today? And our hearts go out to you for your loss, first off. What do you want to say now that this justice process is moving forward?
I would like to thank the PG County State's Attorney's Office for the great service that they've been providing. I just want justice served for my daughter.
Ms. Thompson, how are you guys doing? How's the family doing right now?
Is as good as a family could be under these circumstances, so not so good. We're trying to make
I know that they have to ask those questions, but she asked, how are you guys doing right now? And of course they're not doing good at all. They just lost their youngest child, and 4 other siblings lost their baby sister.
A little bit about your daughter. She was 19, just getting started, a young lady out of high school. Tell us
Yes,
about her, please.
my daughter, she had just turned 19 years old prior to this unfortunate circumstance. She was working under Westmore's Maryland Year Service Corps option, whatever it's called, program. She had just completed a year-long internship in which she was very successful. She did a great job. She was a kind of an outgoing, soft-spoken, kind young lady. She was a free spirit.
I have to show you guys this right quick too. She just spoke about that the program that Dacara was in was by Governor Westmore, right? He made a statement too. It says, our entire state mourns the horrible loss of Dacara Thompson, who was taken from us by an act of senseless violence. Dawn and I join all Marylanders in praying for Dacara and her family in the wake of this tragedy. We are grateful for the dedicated men and women of law enforcement, including Maryland State Police and the Prince George's County Department, who have collaborated closely throughout this investigation. I have been and will continue to be in constant contact with our public safety partners as they carry out their work to ensure that justice is served. Dacara raised her right hand out of high school to join our most recent cohort of Maryland Service Year Option members, patriotic Marylanders committed to public service. She yearned to be part of our mission to solve big problems with bold solutions through her passion for the arts. She was a bright light in our state. We will use every tool at our disposal to ensure those responsible for this crime are held accountable and honor Dakara's legacy of service through our unwavering commitment for the safety and well-being of all Marylanders. Okay, so that was on his governor X account, right? But I found his personal X account, and this is what he had posted a few days before that. He says the Trump administration is demonizing immigrants and violating due process to advance their cruel and reckless political agenda. But in Maryland, we will continue to honor the Constitution and follow the laws of the land. So that was a few days before that this happened, and he says demonizing immigrants, and it's I just had to show you guys that too. So that was on his personal, and then this was on his Governor X account.
So there's been a lot of people disparaging her character on social media and things as such. Please don't believe everything you see. Don't believe everything you hear. Out of respect for the family and us grieving, please, approach everything with grace. We would appreciate that.
Ma'am, do you have any thoughts about this notion that this guy was arrested by Park Police and released back in April?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
This man, Mr. Hernandez-Mendez,
Yes.
was arrested by the United States Park Police for drunk driving in April 25th on the BW Parkway. He was subsequently released. There was no check of his immigration status or anything like that. There were no warrants at the time, no detainers. But he was in federal custody. And then he was released, and he is in the country without proper documentation, and now they've filed.
I'm very disappointed, finding that out now, because we may not be here today if they did what they were supposed to do.
She was asked about if she was upset that he wasn't held on an ICE detainer for the DUI arrest.
Let me again say that I just want to be clear, and out of respect for the family as well, any questions regarding the nature of the investigation would be harmful to our investigation at this particular point. So I want to make sure that we don't delve into any of that information. I will say you asked a question earlier. As always, there'll be an autopsy that's performed as a part of the investigation.
Last question, Katie. Carmen, and then a follow-up from Madam State's Attorney. The family often has a long journey after a crime like this happens.
Yes.
With the trauma as the case moves forward and the victims have to outlive the crime itself. Is the family prepared for what's about to happen in the coming months? Grueling work of retelling the story, working with investigators.
She's asking them about, are they ready for the long legal process ahead?
That's a tough question. Because we know it's going to be extremely hard. We just ask that everybody pray for our strength through the process.
And Madam State's Attorney, the DC U.S. Attorney has blamed Maryland for crime in the district and for guns coming into the county. Have you seen any change recently given the surge in the district just across the border in Maryland, or anything that has been different after the national troops have been in the district?
All I'll say to that is that we continue to work with our law enforcement partners both in Prince George's County and in the district to make sure that that we're protecting the residents of this county. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Best of luck. Thank you very much.
Thank you all for coming.
And that broke my heart that her mama actually thanked the press for coming. So I think that that's all I have today for Dacara, you guys. Since I showcased her missing persons case last week, I felt that it was only right to see it through, and I'll try to keep up with it as much as I can too. So now we get to the good story. You guys know that I don't like to leave you without this. And also I want to tell you guys, next month, October, is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and also it is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And last year I tried to incorporate both of those, and I'm already working on that for this month, for October for this year. But I found something really good. You guys know, and we drop it quite a bit, is the hand sign. And you guys can look it up here. It tells all about it, and it's for help. And it was the Canadian Women's Foundation that came up with this universal hand sign, and it was for when COVID, there was a lot of people locked down, and it made domestic violence rates rise drastically, and women weren't going to work or going out to get help while they were out like they used to be able to do, so they could give this sign on Zoom or things like that also to get help. And a lady used this just recently on August the 19th in California. her and her abuser went to the 7-Eleven, and she was able to turn around and do it behind her back, and the cashier there knew exactly what she was doing, and he called and got her help. And I have the body camera from that, and he got them separated, the police officer did, and the abuser tried to run away. He had an active warrant, and when they stopped him, he also had a taser on him. So bless her heart, it's untelling what he was planning to do with that taser or what she had been through already. And I'm so thankful that the clerk knew what she was doing, and so that he could call for help for her. And I had to screen record this because on one place they didn't have the sound, and so I had to screen record it from Instagram. But this is directly from the police department. And what I was going to say was that I've found 2 more instances that that this hand sign has saved women. And please make sure that all the women in your life know about it, and that everyone in your life knows how to recognize it, because we never know. And that link that I dropped should take you right there if you don't know what it looks like. And I'm going to share those 2 other stories that I found next month for domestic violence awareness.
Like 5 minutes ago.
Oh no, they could be us.
Yeah. The people that called are actually outside. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Do you mind if I talk to you real quick?
Me?
Yeah. Over here? Is that okay?
Yeah, go ahead.
Alright. You guys want to step outside real quick and then I'll let you get back to your Pepsis?
But these people, they were coming private. Those people right there, they were coming. They were walking behind us all the time. We were not arguing and doing it.
Okay. I don't know. Let me talk to you later.
You wanna sit down?
Go ahead. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, right here, it's fine.
Well, but like I said, she asked for somebody to Todd. Officer Todd's gonna talk to you, okay? Do me a favor. You're not under arrest. Can you stand up for me, please? And just face the wall.
Nothing beats the Jet2 holidays. And right now, you can save £50 per person. That's £200 off for a family of 4. We've got millions of free child place holidays available.
I didn't add that Jet2 holiday. It was actually the Alhambra Police Department that added that. Oh, but I think that that's all that I have for you guys today. Thank you guys so much for coming out and listening to what I had today to share for Dacara. If you guys ever have any more cases that could need awareness, please send me an email or leave a comment under this video. And if you guys are watching this video on replay, please subscribe and hit the notification so that you can come and hang out with us because I have a really good group, you guys, and I think that you would enjoy coming to chat with us. Yeah, it was a good little ending there. Yeah, so, and I usually go live. I put a lot of research into my shows, so I usually only go live once a week, but I have, but I'm always keeping up with all of the major stories too. If you guys ever wanted to chat about those, I just usually try to use my time for cases that don't get the attention that they deserve, but we could always talk about the cases that are big in the news too. Is it? Oh man, I don't know what happened. Oh yeah, there's Van's link, you guys, and Trista's. Trista, her work hours have changed, and so she's not able to be with us like she usually is. But if you subscribe to her channel, she posts daily on her community tab devotionals, and if you subscribe to her, they'll hopefully show up in your feed too. And there's Van's link, and she does nature shows. Does anybody else hear an echo? And she's a wealth of knowledge, so please check out her channel too, Nature Rocks there. I think that's all I had. So thank you to my mods for being here and helping me today. I really, really appreciate you. And thanks everybody for coming. I appreciate each of you for coming to spend any time that you can and listening to what I have to say and what I have to share. But I love you guys, and remember to say your prayers and take your vitamins too after you talk to your doctor, of course. Okay, I love you all. I'll see you next time.